You sign on, you make a profile about yourself by answering some questions, entering some information such as your concentration or major at school, contact information about phone numbers, instant messaging screen names, anything you want to tell, interests, what books you like, movies, and most importantly, who your friends are.
Well, things have changed. Mark Zuckerberg's social network is facing its worst scandal since it launched in 2004. Facebook, now 14, is going through its equivalent of a teenage meltdown, engulfed by no less than 3 crises. First, it was linked to depression, then fake news, and now disrupting democracy. Zuckerberg is in full crisis control mode after news broke that 50 million Facebook accounts were breached to try and manipulate elections.
This was a major breach of trust, and I'm really sorry that this happened. We have a basic responsibility to protect people's data.
Just last week, we found out Facebook was collecting logs of phone calls and text messages on some Android phones. Sounds almost like NSA-level surveillance. The stakes are really high for Zuckerberg. The company's value has plunged from $560 billion in early February to $464 billion today. That's almost $100 billion. Some of Facebook's competitors are placing the blame directly at Zuckerberg's feet, like Apple CEO Tim Cook.
Mark Zuckerberg, what would you do?
What would I do? I wouldn't be in this situation. We're not going to traffic in your personal life. I think it's an invasion of privacy. I think it's privacy to us is a human right.
Scandals seem to be taking a toll on how Canadians view Facebook. A recent poll suggests only 34% trust the brand. That's down from 51% last year. And the poll was conducted before the latest revelations about the breached data. And joining me from Charlottesville is Siva Vaidyanathan. He's writing a book on the social network called Anti-Social Media: How Facebook Disconnects Us. He's a professor of media studies at the University of Virginia. So you say it's the most pervasive surveillance system on Earth. What exactly are they collecting, and where do they get it?
Everything is the simple answer, right? So think about what you express when you interact with Facebook. You already have given Facebook some basic personal information, the correct spelling of your name, your location. You've probably indicated at some point where you went to school. You have created a network or a social graph of your friendships and closest relations. You have expressed your interest in certain movies and certain books and certain sports teams. You've already shown Facebook what you think about politics, what you think about certain celebrities. All of this is valuable information, and over time, Facebook has a way of profiling you, of sort of scoring you, and then using all of that data to predict the sorts of things you'd be interested in. So there's almost nothing we don't reveal on Facebook at some point. Facebook has given us this illusion of control by making it seem that we can pick our audiences for what we express, but the fact is Facebook grabs everything about us.
So you've been arguing for years that this is an issue that people should pay attention to, but not so much. But now all of a sudden they are. Why? Is it fake news? Is it all of the reveals about Cambridge Analytica in the last couple of weeks? Why are people latching on to this now?
It's been a really bad couple of years for Facebook ever since the elections of 2016, first the Brexit election, and then the surprising triumph of Donald Trump in the Electoral College in the United States. That really shook people up, and people started to notice that, I mean, among other things, Trump didn't use standard methods of political communication. He was pouring all of his money into Facebook. In addition, we now know there were other subversive elements, some of which were paid for by Russia, to try to disrupt the election, to try to push the candidacy of Donald Trump, or at least push issues associated with Donald Trump. So that all brought things that Facebook was allowing, and in many cases doing, front and center. And then the real meltdown was about Cambridge Analytica. This put characters to the story, right? It gave us, Bond characters to a spy novel, but it really revealed a practice that was an open secret since about 2010. Since 2010, social media scholars like myself have been warning people about the fact that Facebook was letting all sorts of firms take lots of data about millions of people out of the system and using it for who knows what purpose.
Mark Zuckerberg has apologized for recent events, and but I mean, this is a guy who was portrayed for many, many years as this idealist wanting to make the world a better place. Now, of course, he's being portrayed as just another greedy billionaire doing whatever it takes to try and make as much money as he can and keep the regulators off of his back. It's a pretty different image.
In my book, I blame his idealism for the fact that he created this Frankenstein's monster. You know, basically, if you believe that you can do no evil, over time, you will lose sight of whether you can do no wrong. And that's basically what happened. He believed so deeply in his own morality, in his own rectitude, in his own plan to connect the world and make it better. You know, he truly believes, and I see no reason for him to have changed at this point. He truly believes that if he makes it easier for people to interact with other people, that we will all be better to each other. We'll love each other more. We'll like each other more. Food will taste better.
But that's just interacting without any accountability, without any regulation.
Right.
I mean, he's changed the whole fabric of society here.
That's the thing. He's taken away a lot of the friction and sloth or slowness of human communication. In that process, we lost sight of the fact that, the slowness of human communication had its virtues too. It meant we might think before we speak. It meant we might have to humanize the person we're interacting with.
Are you still on Facebook?
I am still on Facebook. Facebook remains one of the best ways to inform and motivate like-minded people, which is both its strength and its problem. It's a terrible place for deliberation. We should not run our politics in a democratic republic through Facebook. But if you want to get people moving, you want to get people motivated, you want to make people who already agree with you aware of what you're doing and what you think, Facebook is a pretty powerful thing. So I have a lot of reasons to remain on Facebook. Plus, I have a really cute golden retriever, and people really love seeing her photographs.
And you can tell when it's a Russian troll farm who sent you something.
I like to think I can. But the fact is, for most of us, it's really hard to tell the real from the fake on Facebook.
Siva, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you.
My pleasure.
For weeks, we've been asking Facebook Canada for an interview. We have yet to get a response, but we still hope to hear from them.